Morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. How are you? How you feeling? Let me know in the comment. We're gonna talk about the latest immigration news. We have couple news. Let me know in the comment. We have couple news to discuss. Okay. I just wanna put myself in the just want to put myself on my IG story so we can get started. Just link. Okay, good morning. Good morning. How are you? How you feeling? We want to discuss the latest immigration news. The first news we have is the fee, parole fees. Um, let me share the screen so we can talk about it. Parole fees. That's the news we have. The first news we want to discuss. Okay. Parole fees. Okay. Yeah, if you have a question, please put it in the comment section. Okay, we're just discussing the latest immigration news. Oh, this is my for my videos, my stand for the video. But anyway, let me put it here. It's like distracting. Parole fees. Let's start with parole fees. Let me share the screen. Okay, we have this one. Okay, so USCIS announces implementation of new immigration parole fee required by HR 1. HR 1 is the Beautiful Bill Act. Remember that bill that had all the increases of fees? Anyway, so what are they saying? They're saying that uh, the department, DHS, um, to implement a new immigration parole fee required by the HR1 reconciliation bill. The fee is $1,000, okay, uh, for fiscal year 2025, and is subject to annual adjustment for inflation. So you must pay this fee when you are paroled into the United States, unless you qualify for an exception. So if you're paroled in the United States, you must pay this fee. Even DACA applicants who are requesting advance parole, you will have to pay the fee if they're gonna approve your advance parole. Um, So what they're saying is USCIS will collect the immigration parole fee if you are physically present in the United States and USCIS is granting you parole or a new period of parole, also known as re-parole, beginning of October 16, 2025. If USCIS determine that they can approve your request for parole or re-parole, and that they require payment of the immigration parole fee, they will notify you. Okay, you must pay the fee before you can approve you. They can approve your request. So basically, they'll send you a notice saying that we're gonna approve your request, and this is the fee that you have to pay. Okay, $1,000. Even if your application is pending prior to October 16, 2025. In other words, this one is going to be apply in retroactive. That's it. Like you have to pay. If they're gonna approve you, you have to pay. That's it. That's number one news. Yeah, that's the first news. Gotta pay the fees if you are going to get an approval of parole. Regardless if you apply, if even if the application is pending that you apply like back in uh before October 16, 2025, you still have to pay. That's it. Um Hello Bijoux. Hi, how are you? How you feeling? Do you have a question? If you have a question, we're just discussing the latest immigration news. The first news is that parole is back. Not like it's back in terms of like the fees for parole. It's $1,000. Yeah, that's the fee. $1,000. That's it. If you don't pay the $1,000, the person is not going to be approved. $1,000 for parole. That's number one news. Number two, let me see. A lot is going on in Chicago. Let me see what we're going to discuss here. Let me see. Okay. Let me see here. Let me share my screen again for the second news. Okay, share. Okay, this is with the judge in in Chicago. Okay, judge wants immigration agents in Chicago area to wear body cameras after clashes with public, because this in Chicago is going really down in terms of like ICE raids and public protest. It's really going down. If you've been watching the news, you will see what's going on in Chicago. So, but now what they're saying here is that a judge on Thursday, uh, which was yesterday, required federal immigration officer in the Chicago area to wear body cameras. And she also summoned a senior official to court next week to discuss an enforcement operation that has resulted in more than 1,000 arrests. Because in Chicago, they're going really hard, cracking down really hard on immigration. And then they made a lot of arrests. So this U.S. District Judge by the name of Sarah Ellis said that she was a little startled after seeing TV images of street confrontation that involved tear gas and other tactics during an immigration uh, crackdown by the Donald Trump administration. So yeah, basically that's what she came up with the that order. Okay. But if you are just aware, you gotta be aware of your surroundings in terms of if you're going out, if you're in Chicago, just be aware, because in questions like cracking down really hard. Sorry, the federal agents and federal enforcement, they're really cracking down really hard on immigration. So that's just something you really have to keep in mind. Um, yeah, just keep in mind that's what's happening. Okay, that's what's happening in Chicago, but it's happening like pretty much in DC as well. What else we have here? Hello, Nancy Lutete. Lutete. Okay. How are you? How are you feeling? Do you have a question? If you have a question, please put it in the comment section. We're talking about the latest immigration news, what's happening. Number one, what's happening is that parole applicants are required to pay $1,000 fees. If you are being paroled in the United States, prior to approving your case, you're gonna have to pay the $1,000 fee. That's the new rule. They're gonna implement it regardless of when your parole application has been pending. So that's few exception applies, but that's the general rule. Even DACA applicants for advanced parole, yeah, they have to pay those fees. So nobody's gonna skip that fees when it comes to parole. Gotta pay those fees. That's what's going on. The number one news. Number two, in Chicago, ICE raids are still like, the federal, they are really cracking down on immigration in Chicago. It's like out of this world. You know what I mean? Even a judge asked ICE to wear body camera so they will know how ICE is really enforcing those laws. Okay. Um, let me see if we have something else here. Let me see. We might have some more stuff. Let's see. More than 170 US. This is happening to anybody, really. To be honest, like if you're not careful, you might encounter ICE. Like it doesn't really matter because more than 170 US citizens have been held by immigration agents. They've been kicked, dragged, and detained for days. Okay. Okay. So let's start with this one, and then we'll talk about the social media and immigration. Okay, let's talk about this one. Let me share my screen here. Anybody else? Meanwhile, if you have a question, just drop it in the comment because we're just here to answer question anyway. So if you have a question, just drop it in the comment section so we can answer you. Let's see. Yeah. Immigration found out more than 170 US citizens have been held by immigration agents. They've been kicked, drugged, and detained for days. You see? When the Supreme Court recently allowed the immigration agent in Los Angeles area to take race into consideration during sweeps, said that citizens shouldn't be concerned. But the thing is, if the officer learned that the individual they stopped is a U.S. citizen or otherwise lawful in the United States, they promptly let the individual go. But that is far from reality. Many citizens have been experienced. Okay, Americans have been drugged, tackled, beaten, teased, and shot by immigration agents. They've had their neck nailed on. They've been held outside in the rain while in their underwear. At least 3 citizens were pregnant when the agent detained them. One of those women have already had the door of her home blow off while the department watch, about to. Yeah, you just have to be careful in terms of like, because sometimes it happens to you even when you're a U.S. citizen. You might encounter those type of accidents. Okay, so you just have to be mindful. That's what I'm saying. You might have your lawful permanent residency, but you just might be mindful of those raids, especially if you know the raid is going to be in your area. Just be mindful. You can go ahead and read the article. I'm going to stop here. What else we have here? I want to see what else we have. I want to see if we have something else going on. Adjustment of status, filing date for November 2025. Okay. Yeah, let's talk about it because sometimes people get confused. Let me talk about this one. Let me share my screen. Yeah, because some people get confused when it comes to filing dates for adjustment of status. Okay, when to file your adjustment of status application, family sponsor or employment-based preferences visa, November 2025. Okay, when to file. Use the visibility chart. That's for people who do not have a visa available, like if you're not immediate relative. So that's when you look at the chart. If you're immediate relative, like you're parents of a U.S. citizen child, or you're a child of a U.S. citizen, child meaning under the age of 21, and then you're a spouse of a U.S. citizen, then you don't have to follow those charts. Okay, that's an immediate relative type of requirement, like relationship. But if you not a immediate relative by the definition or by standards of this immigration, then you have to follow the chart. Okay, to use the chart, find your visa type in the first column on the left. Stay in the hole and move directly to the right. Find the corresponding date under the country of your birth. If the date of chart is C, or your priority date is earlier than the date of the chart, you might file for adjustment of status. If it's C, it means current. Or if your priority date is earlier than the date of the chart, then you might file. Okay, U means unauthorized. Okay, so that's how you look at it. For example, let's give you a real example. Yeah, if you're filing first, if you are basically, let's start with employment base, for example. For example, employment base, right? Your second category. Okay, second category, that's national. Let's start with first category. Sorry, first category, like exceptional ability, extraordinary ability. That's first category. C means current, means you can file now for the green. If you have an approval petition, you can file for the green card. Okay. If you're from China and your priority date is earlier than May, let's say May 14, 2023, you can file because the cutoff date is for now, right? India, if your priority date is April 14, 2023, May 14, 2023, sorry, not 2025, 2023. India, May 14, 2023, or May 15, sorry. I guess sidetrack. Sorry, let me recap. If your priority date is earlier than the date, okay? For example, if your priority date is 14th of May 2023, you can file now. 14th of April 2023, you can file now. Mexico right now is current. Philippines right now is current. You can file now. If you're a second category means those how do you call those people? National interest waiver and the other ones too that are on the second category. If you apply before July 15, 2024, you can file. But China, you have to look at the date, the exact date. It has to be like November 30th, 2021. You can file because right now that's the cutoff for now. You have to look at this one. Mexico and Philippines, you have to look at the date as well. But for everybody else too, this is the cutoff date. So if you have priority date, like I have one person, their priority date is like February 2024. Once we get the approval, we're ready to file. Okay, that's how you look at visa bulletin. Okay, religious work is certain religious workers are not authorized. But fourth category, it's some religious work as well. Right now they're doing February 2021. Okay, so we're in 2025, right? If we say 2025, 2022, 2023, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like it's like 4 years. If you file this year, you have to wait for 4 years before it becomes, unless it goes faster, which I doubt it. You know, this is for fourth category. It's sometimes religious worker. Out of all these are current. And then if we look at family base, F1, F2A, those are the date. F2B, those are the date. But particular country like China, India, Mexico, and Philippines, they have the particular date that if you're from there, you have to look at your country specifically. That's how you know whether or not you can apply. Okay. What else? What is the best way to bring your family member? Bring a sister, for example. For a sister, yeah, the only way we have is the one that takes forever. If you're a U.S. citizen, you can petition for your siblings by filing the form I-130. But remember, it takes forever, right? It gets approved, then you have to wait for the visa to become available. Almost like 10 years. People wait. Another way that if your sister marries somebody, then their spouse can bring them here. Some people, if they qualify for a student visa, they have money to pay for school fees, then yes. But other than that, we don't have anything else, except if you look into employment type of visa too. You have to look into your, you have to find an employer who's willing to sponsor your sister. So those are the type of thing we can, yeah. Other than that, the sibling petitions, those take forever. I want to talk about something. I forgot. I want to talk about, yeah, social media. Basically social media, when you, yeah, social media, basically, if you are trying to petition for something, right, you have to make sure that you look into your social media and see what exactly are you posting, because some people got canceled, their visa got canceled because they were posting political opinions, you see. So nowadays you can't just be posting anything you want. Yeah, especially if you're trying to get something from this government, right? A benefit. You're welcome. Anyway, do we, anybody else? If we don't have a question, we're just gonna stop here. We want to make short videos on TikTok. If you go on TikTok, we have a couple short videos there. We want to go ahead and do that. If we don't have a question, we're gonna stop here. Okay.